right, welcome back to Marketing Agency Horror Stories. And today we're going to talk about money, everybody's favorite topic. You know, let's say we're in a competitive economy, tight economy maybe, I don't know. But everybody's watching their budgets. Talking about budgets and talking about rates is something we thought was, pretty timely. So I'm going to talk about rates first. So, rates in terms of marketing is a very fluid thing. Every firm, every freelancer is going to have different rates. If you're considering working with somebody whose rates are really, really, really low, I would just tell you you're going to get what you pay for. There are always going to be people that will tell you that they will do work for very low rates. That either means you're going to get not as good a quality, or it's going to take forever, or you're going to find out as you go along that it's your change orders, or you're going to get charged more hours or whatever, and that low price you thought you were going to get is not going to be as low as you thought. We're headquartered in Waco, Texas, which is right in the middle of the great state of Texas. Waco's a pretty good sized town, but we're not in a major metro area like Dallas-Fort Worth or Houston or Austin or whatever. We have offices in Dallas and Houston, but we're not headquartered in a major metro area. And we have seen many, many examples where companies, mid-market or larger companies in metro areas have made decisions about projects and gone with agencies that were in major metro areas, even though their rates were much, much, much higher than ours. Some of those agencies are very, very good, very, very capable. We've also seen situations where those companies came back to us after 6, 12 months because that major metro area agency that was twice as expensive as us didn't deliver. What I'm getting at is that just because an agency is in a major metro area and their rates are really high or higher, doesn't necessarily equate to the level of their performance. So kind of two ends of the spectrum there on rates to consider. Part 2 of this video on money in marketing is on budgeting. The construct that I want to get across here is something that we've seen a lot in working with clients in what I'll call mid-market. So we're not talking about billion-dollar companies, and we're not talking about small businesses. Depending on what industry they're in, really kind of determines how much marketing they need to do. It also determines the scope and kind of the marketing mix of tactical execution that they need to engage in. There's a break point where up to that point, those companies are not doing enough marketing or the mix of marketing that it makes sense to start hiring a whole team of marketing people internally. And then past that point, it starts to make sense for them to hire potentially specific positions. So I'll give you an example. If a company is a highly e-commerce based, distributor type company, and they're selling thousands of different products through their website that are, fairly high dollar, and they're a $350, $400 million a year type of size company, and most of that is going through their website. Well, absolutely, it would make 100% sense that they would have one, maybe even two full-time people who are just working on their website. That makes a lot of sense. At the same time, it would make no sense that they would have a full-time, communications type person that's doing social media and copywriting and PR and all that kind of stuff, or a full-time person for, multimedia, or a full-time marketing strategist, or a full-time, whatever. The reality is that for people who are under that break point where it doesn't make sense to hire people internally full-time for specific marketing functions, working with an agency is the absolute right way to go, because you can use the people who work at that agency in those different functions just for the amount of time that you need them. I mean, we've seen situations where that has been, 1/10 of the cost of hiring a team internally. As you get closer to that break point of, size of company and the amount of marketing that they're doing, it obviously becomes closer and closer. But generally, working with an agency where you're able to utilize everybody on their team for the different marketing functions only to the extent that you need them is generally about a third to a fourth as much as hiring those people internally. So it's a great economic value. Obviously, the whole point of this series is to give you information and ammunition so that you can make better decisions and good decisions about what agency to work with that's going to do a great job for you. So if you have any questions about budgeting or rates or any aspect of anything we've covered in our series here on Marketing Agency Horror Stories, please reach out to us via the comments or on direct message. You can also go to our website, fourcolumns.net, and reach out to me directly there via email. We'd love to talk to you. And that's going to wrap up our series. And we really appreciated you joining us on this series, Marketing Agency Horror Stories. We hope that it has helped you and equipped you with information to help you make great decisions on marketing partners to work with and how your business can better utilize marketing to be successful and reach your goals. And I appreciate you joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.